Today during homeroom we're going to work on getting our computers organized and running in a more efficient way. So first topic I want to cover is organizing your Google Drive. And as you can see here, I've already made several folders to keep myself organized. This is very important so that when you go into your drive, you don't see hundreds of documents just unorganized and all individually listed out. Rather, if you're looking for something specific, you can go into the folder and find the document more quickly that you want to look at. So, for example, I have all of my old documents archived from past years. So I started Google Drive in 2011, so all of my documents from the year 2011 to 2012 are in this folder. All of my documents from 2012 to 2013, last school year, are in this folder. And then I've got a new folder for this year. As soon as this year is over, I will move any of these other folders that I don't need anymore into that folder as just a place to keep track of them for later. So I'm looking down here and I have several documents down here which are all related to the same topic. All of these documents are all related to the fall play. So what I'm going to do is create a folder and title it Fall Play. Create. And as you can see, it pops up within my drive. Oops, I must have already had one. Let's see. So I already have a folder here called Fall Play. Also, it should pop up over here. So if you aren't seeing this menu, you might have this closed. See that triangle? If you want to see all your folders within my drive, you can click that triangle and then you can see a list of all of the folders that you would have in your drive. So now what I'm going to do is move these documents into my folder for the fall play. So there's a couple different ways that you can do that. One way is to select the documents by clicking in the checkbox to the left, and then you can see I have multiple documents selected, and then I can click and drag them over to the folder that I want. And then if I click on that folder, you can see that they've now moved from just in my drive into a specific folder in my drive. Also, let's say I am in the middle of editing a document and I want to move it into a folder directly from there. So I have made this document and this is the first time that I'm working with it. If I click this folder icon next to the title of the document, I can also select a place that I want it to be moved to, and it will automatically not be in my drive anymore, but be moved into my Fall Play folder. So what I'd like you to do now is have your homeroom teacher pause the video, and I would like you to make folders for your classes this year. Eventually, you might put those into a folder titled 9th grade year or 2013 to 2014. For now, just make a folder for each. Also, I would like you to create a folder that's called Archives. So what that means is right now, as you're going through, you might have a whole bunch of old documents. So if there are things from past years that you don't need anymore, but maybe you want to keep in your drive just in case you need to go back to them later, you can move those into the archive folder. Another thing that you might do is delete old documents if you know that there's no way you're going to need them ever again. So go ahead and pause the video, and then your homeroom teacher can come around and kind of do a quick visual check to make sure that all of the student drives are kind of cleaned up and put into folders. Okay, now that you've done that, I want to talk a little bit about your internet browser. So if you can see, I'm using Google Chrome. This is just optional. I don't want to say that you have to use Google Chrome. However, I do want to show you some neat things that you can do on Google Chrome. So Google Chrome is nice because you can add extensions. So I have added an extension, first of all, that shows all of my downloads, so I can always go back and find them again later. I've also added a calendar, so when I look at my calendar, I can have a quick glance right from my internet. That's my Google Calendar. Also, I have an application called Ginger, which is actually a place where within my Google Docs or within my emails on my internet browser, it can do a spell check to make sure that I am spelling everything correctly. So what we're going to do is we're going to search for Chrome extensions so that I can show you. So there's a place called the Chrome Web Store, and there are lots and lots and lots of options. So when I'm looking in here, there are lots of different choices for what you might look at as different extensions that can be added onto Chrome. So if you'd like to, right now, download Google Chrome and look through these extensions to see if there's any that you might want to add. A few that I would suggest would be Ginger. So Ginger right here, this is the one I was talking about. The second one, Grammar Checker and Synonym Tool. This one is a free extension that helps you with your spell check and grammar check, okay? Spell and Grammar Checker by Ginger, this one down here. Extensions, not an app, an extension, I'm sorry. So make sure you're downloading extensions, not apps, okay? Another one that I would suggest is the Google Calendar. So go down to the extensions. There's lots of different ones. I have Checker Plus. That's where you can see the calendar straight from here. Otherwise, there's also one that is done just exactly from Google. This is helpful for you as you're starting to keep track of different assignments, long-term things that you're trying to do. So go ahead and pause the video and maybe download a few extensions for your Google Chrome. All right, now that you've done that, I want to talk about one last thing. I want to make sure that you understand that you should use only one web browser. That doesn't mean that you can't have multiple web browsers. So, for example, I also have a Safari on my computer. Just in case something isn't working on Google Chrome, I might use Safari. However, make sure you're not bouncing back and forth between browsers. Because, for example, in my bookmarks menu, I have bookmarked my e-learning site for U&I for the class that I'm taking. And if I go back to Safari and I try to look in my bookmarks, I have all my old bookmarks from when I was only using Safari, but I do not have my new bookmark for my class. It's important that you don't get confused and that you just keep track of one or the other. So keep in mind that you're just going to want to pick one web browser to use. Put all your bookmarks in that web browser and use that one only from here on out. Hopefully this has been helpful. Make sure that you keep up with your Google Docs so that you can keep organized throughout the year, and then don't forget at the end of the year, when you're getting ready to start 10th grade, you're going to want to go back and archive, put those old folders from 9th grade into an archive folder.